one of the gifts he gave me was a basketball. And I didn't notice that at the time. But, because sometimes when you're young, you don't know what's influencing you. And I ended up just being obsessed with basketball. And I would play every day, and I would go out to the court, and I would, practice and teach myself how to shoot. And then pretty soon I'd try to get in pickup games. And usually the guys were older than me, and they were better than me. But I had an attitude. So usually I just scrap and try to keep up. And basketball became a refuge and a place in which the fact that I looked different than most of the people I was with, the fact that I didn't have a father around the house, it was a great equalizer. Because the thing about any sport, one of the great things about sports is that on the field, on the court, what matters is not who you know or who your father is or how much money you have or what privileges you have. What matters is, can you play? And if you can play and you can prove yourself, then you can gain respect. And so basketball has continued to be this great love of mine even after I realized that I wasn't built like Bismarck and I didn't have Steph Curry's shot, and I was not going to be a professional basketball player. And so I want to say to all the young people here, first of all, don't stop playing football because it's actually good for your basketball game. And obviously that's the first love of a lot of young people here in Kenya. Basketball is something that in many parts of the world is still being introduced. Football, soccer as we call it, is actually great training for basketball. But I hope you give this game a chance if you haven't played it before. I hope you learn to love it the way I loved it. And I hope all the young people here, whatever sport you are involved with, and by the way, this is not a sport for boys any more than any sport is for boys. Girls are just as competitive, just as strong, just as able. So I expect to see girls teams and boys teams on this court. I hope you learn to love the sport, but more importantly, I hope you learn as you go get better and practice and train, I hope you learn discipline. I hope you learn how you can get better at something even if you didn't know how to do it at first. I hope you know through sport that if you put in effort, you will be rewarded. I hope you learn through sport